Hello, hello. Welcome back. Today's topic is deliverables. I guess it's maybe the same day for you guys, but you can tell I changed my shirt, so that means it's a different day for me. Just wanted to kind of go through what can you give your clients to, just as a communication tool, and then just as something that kind of shows them that you haven't just taken their money and not provided things, especially for um, recurring fee structures where you're maybe doing bookkeeping on a monthly basis for people. I feel like deliverables are just a great way not only to kind of prove that you're doing the work, but also just helps you open up some communication with people. Um, and just make sure that it's a good way to have a touch point with your client without bothering them too much about how things are going. So I'm going to kind of talk about a little bit of the things that we include in our deliverables, and then I'm going to show you a really cool feature in QuickBooks um, that will help you facilitate this, and it's absolutely free. So kind of wanted to run through this. So the first thing that we do is we provide basic financial statements. This is a part of every package that we offer, is that we at minimum provide a balance sheet, a profit and loss, and a cash flow statement. Those are all canned reports that are in QuickBooks, so it's not like you're going to be spending a lot of time putting them together. Um, and I'll show you a really quick way that you can kind of automate the delivery of these, which is really handy. But we do, with all of our recurring monthly clients, we include a set of basic financial statements. For cleanup projects that maybe we're doing to help our tax pros have their clients have their books ready, or we're converting things, the deliverable, we always send financial statements and ask our clients to review those for accuracy, completeness, so that this is a really good way to send this and say, we believe we are finished with our part of the work. Please review this and confirm that. So always a good choice. If you want to include in that communication that they do need to confirm that there are no issues, then that's great. We have actually implemented very recently um, a situation where we've always had in our engagement letter that the client's responsibility is to review and let us know whether anything's been changed. But one of the things that we ran into fairly often is clients have a tendency, especially small business owners who aren't using their financial statements for anything and they just hired a bookkeeper because they know they need to file taxes with them at the end of the year. They have a tendency to kind of ignore those monthly deliverables that you're sending to them, and then around this, again, it's mid-December here. Around this time frame, they'll start looking at those because now it's getting close to time to file taxes, and they kind of want to know where they are in terms of taxes. And that's when they start trying to send you, oh, hey, it doesn't look like this is including all of this, or this doesn't look right. And you find out that you have not been receiving all the information that you need to to give them good financial statements. So we've actually written into our deliverables that they have X number of days to get back with us with any questions, or we may assess an additional fee. And I leave that to the decision of my accountant or myself. If we feel like that's happening a lot, we will, the first time that happens, we will very gently remind our clients, so, hey, you really were supposed to send, this correction to us within the 45-day window of when we provided you the financial statement that had that error on it or that incomplete piece. So no worries. This first time we'll go ahead and make this update, but we do recommend that at least quarterly you look at your statements and give us a heads up. We do that solely for planning purposes, for scheduling purposes, because the end of the year, the beginning of the year are always busy times for bookkeepers. So we definitely don't want to have a big portfolio of clients who all of them want us to turn something around in 2 days during, Christmas and New Year's time, or into February. So we do provide basic financial statements because we want to have that open communication with our clients to make sure that they are getting a look at their financials. We want them engaged. But the next thing is we also include custom reporting. So there are lots of different reports out in QuickBooks. So part of my onboarding talk with people is I'll ask them, hey, like tell me about your business, tell me what your pain points are, And I've started trying to listen for keywords on, maybe they're saying they're having some cash flow problems. So one of the things that I like to do is start including an AR aging report in there so that when I'm writing up that management discussion and analysis, um, I can say, as you can tell from your AR aging, you've got a lot of things that are over 60 days overdue. That might be somewhere you need to focus. Um, the other thing that we put in this thing is I've learned that especially with those clients who kind of ignore your request for a while and then that ends up inadvertently building up a lot of work for you during times that you really maybe, especially if you're a one man show or a one woman show where you are trying to expand your portfolio, you might have 6 or 7 clients. So if all 6 of those clients ask you for something that's due the next day and you had no warning for that whatsoever, that can create a lot of issues, especially if the whole reason you were doing this is so you could get off for a kid activity or something. So in our deliverables, we also include a page that are notes about the financial statements we're providing, and then we list here are the things that we are still waiting on you for, and that is a recurring list that as they get it to us, we take it off the next month. If they haven't, we, put a note out to it saying this is our second request, this is our third request. And that allows me that when I'm reviewing these things from my accountants who are putting these things together, if I see that there is a long history of that client not getting us what we need to do that, I will start escalating that by emailing them and saying, hey, it looks like, Susie, my accountant, has asked you for this on several occasions. I just wanted to flag for you that we really need to have this, and I try to start moving that along. And if it gets really egregious, that gives you an audit trail, for lack of a better term, to kind of explain to them when you do have to have that meeting about, I don't think that this relationship is working out very well because you're not getting us what we need to earn the money that that we're billing you, and we want to be able to do that. So we do also include a sheet that has notes about the financial statements that we're including, and then a list of needs. The other thing that I feel like your deliverables are good for are really great for marketing tools, especially if you want to start inching um, into that tax preparation area, or you want to start doing some advisory work, or if you're a CPA and you want to start doing some audit and review work. Um, it's somewhere that should you get those first couple of clients, maybe you want to have a standing invitation to your existing clients that they will get 20% off in their next bill if you sign a referral from them, right? Give them a referral um, fee up front on doing that, and let them market for you. But also doing things like just what I did, where I'm saying, hey, here's your attached financial statements. You've mentioned that you've been having cash flow issues. I want to direct your attention to the AR aging, where your invoices are overdue by 60 plus days, and that's been growing over time. Um, just wanted to give you a heads up that we offer a program that helps you manage that. Would you like to hear more about the pricing for that? Right, you can sell to your existing clients, so the packet that you send with the financial statements can also double as a marketing tool. um, and then the other thing that, and I kind of mentioned this with the notes and needs, is just reinforcement of those engagement terms. One of the things that we put in all of our packets is how we want them to communicate with us, right? We tell them, please have any errors, omissions, issues, questions to us within 45 days of when you receive these. And here is how we would like you to send that, right? We will place links in there saying if you have questions that you want to meet with us, like in person, we're a virtual firm, so we do everything online. But we include our accountant's Calendly link on there. We give them instructions on how to escalate things to me if they need to, right? We want to make sure that our clients know that we're there for them, but also do it in such a way that we don't need to hire a full-time person just to manage all of the notes and the calls that are coming in. One of the things that my firm works really, really, really hard on is we don't like to have phone calls because that requires that the right person is answering the phone, that that phone message is getting to the person that needs to, and then you never know whether the person who answered the phone asked the right questions to get the accountant who actually needs to deal with the thing the information that they need to deal with it. So we prefer all of our stuff being in writing and either through our portal or through email, which our email is hooked into our portal. So that's another thing that we put in our engagement letter is we give them very clear instructions on how to get a hold of us. And yes, clients will ignore that and they will call you anyway. And that's okay. And sometimes that's perfectly fine. And it's an easy question that you can answer on the phone. But doing this and continually enforcing that this is your preferred way makes it a little bit easier if you ever do have to get into a situation where you have that tough talk with them about, hey, you're not really fitting how my business runs, so either you change your behavior, I change my pricing, or maybe we part ways and I find you somebody who works better for how you want to do business. I want to stress very much that yes, I've had that conversation with a lot of clients. It's never comfortable. Nobody is wrong in that situation. There are just times when it's not a good fit. But reinforcing those engagement terms, one of the big missteps that I still make to this day, but I'm trying to be a lot more conscious about it, is if I don't state my expectations up front, my client doesn't know how I would prefer to be contacted. So if I can put that in something that they are reading on a regular basis, and quite frankly, during that initial consultation and onboarding call and during the quoting process, I continually mention we like to do things through email and we like to do things through our portal. So making sure that they don't ever have an excuse to say, well, I didn't know that, or wonder why all of a sudden you're being cranky about getting lots of calls because it's happening at a bad time. A lot of times your clients do not know what's going on behind the scenes, and so they're not trying to drive you crazy. They're not trying to be overly needy or be contrary by working with that. But it is important that you up front um, help them, learn how to do it, how you want to do it, because the more that you can get all of your clients working similarly, the easier it is to scale and the more you make in terms of margins on the money that you're charging people. So make that money go away, get a good return on investment. I am now going to walk you through a QuickBooks example of where we do all of these deliverables. We actually use QuickBooks Online. Again, it's completely free in the system, but we build this deliverable packet within QuickBooks. So I'm